Hey team, welcome back to Spec. Today we're here with my XD Falcon, the one that we fit the AU XR8 engine into. Well, I've had a few people ask me how hard the actual conversion was, and while I wouldn't call it hard, I'd call it involved. So today I'm going to talk a bit deeper about how to do it so you can decide whether you're going to do it yourself. So come on, let's get into it.
Quick recap. In 2012 I bought a running, driving, registered AU XR8 to repower my XD Fairmont that I lovingly call Betty. I did it that way because at the time I bought the entire car for less than I could buy the engine. So having the whole car, I had all the looms, transmission, etc, that I could utilise for the conversion. In 2 weeks, one in January and one in October, we went from a 250 Crossflow carby to running and driving AU XR8-powered XD. The big gap was because we built it in my dad's shed, and I live in Brisbane, 1600 kilometres away. The other advantage of buying a registered car was that I got to drive it to its final running place. The engine isn't a standard AU XR8 engine either. It has SPO heads and a GT40 tubular intake manifold off a SVT Lightning, the same that was fitted to the EB and EL GT. The SVT Lightning is a 351 Windsor though. I was hoping that the AU I'd bought scored the whole engine transplant, but the block height is different between 302 and 351 Windsors, so this definitely is an AU bottom end. It also has roller rockers and a bit of a cam. First step to fit in the engine was getting the 250 Crossflow out. The chassis side engine mounting plates are different between the 6 and 8 cylinder. I was lucky that I had an old burnout car that had the chassis plates I needed, so we swapped them over. The AU engine mounts had to be removed directly from the block, but once they were gone, a set of XR to XE V8 engine mounts bolted straight up to the block. When we lowered the engine in, it sat in perfect position. We didn't touch anything here. Just a combo of factory parts worked, which is pretty much the theme for the whole build. All the accessories on the front of the motor come straight out of the AU. For the power steering pump, the only thing that we had to make up was the high pressure hose, but this hose piped straight back into the XD factory hardline. I was hoping to run the AU AC compressor, but unfortunately where it bolts onto the engine, the strut tower is in the way, so we're still running it AC deleted. On the radiator side of things, we're running a 302 XD radiator. It was the same radiator that we were using with the 250 Crossflow. I'm pretty sure this became the stock 6-cylinder size, definitely by the time they got to the XF. But this car originally had the narrow radiator. In the XD there was also a bigger 351 radiator, but I wouldn't go down that path. The AU thermofans fit perfectly over the 302 version. We just had to make some mounts for the bottom, but the top had plenty of spaces to bolt it onto it already. I also can't remember what radiator hoses we used, but from memory we came home from the parts store with a number of Falcon hoses and used the two that best fit. For the exhaust we went with a set of Castle headers CH-70A. I was originally going to use a set of pacemaker headers. When they arrived, the driver's side bolted up perfectly. On the passenger side, the header hugged the block too tightly and wouldn't clear the starter motor. On review of some old photos, I've only just realised that we were sent the wrong set. I ordered a set of PH4032s, which is stated to fit the 5-litre EFI motor in an XR all the way to the XF conversion. But when I look back at the photos, I ended up with a set of PH4020 and never noticed. Take that as you want. The PH4030s might still fit, but I can't tell you for sure that it will. The rest of the exhaust is off-the-shelf XD V8 2-inch exhaust system. There was a small section of custom work to join the headers in the exhaust, but nothing much. This exhaust is definitely too small for the engine, and I'd love to change it out, but it works for now. The gearbox is the T5 lifted straight from the AU. The AU is fitted with a cable clutch release, and as if it was a perfect alignment, while manual V8 XD Falcons had a hydraulic clutch system, the 6-cylinder had a cable too. There was no modifications here necessary, and the clutch cable from the car worked straight onto the transmission. I wish it was that easy for the shifter. The AU shifter sits further back than the XD shifter location. What we had to do was cut the floor so that it would fit. I then built a box off the back of the tunnel plate to accept the new shifter position and cover the old hole. We also had to build a custom gearbox crossmember. It started with XD outer sections and flat plate extending back to an AU center section. Then we reused the AU transmission mount. When completed, this original crossmember would twist down under the weight of the gearbox. So the old boy tried a second iteration. While still using the XD outer, he changed up to an EF inner, which raised the mounting point of the transmission mount. There was still a bit of twisting in that too, so he added an additional brace that went onto an existing point on the floor of the car. Now the console had to be modified too to accept the new shifter position. This was achieved by simply making a plate to cover up the old and new location. With the Crossflow, I upgraded from a single rail to a 5-speed Superbox. My uncle borrowed the car once when I still had the single rail in it, and he somehow broke the shift knob. He felt so bad about it, he turned me up a custom one. The great thing about the T5 is that the shifter thread pitch is the same as the single rail, so I've been able to use it again. The tailshaft is directly out of the AU. It's the perfect length. When we originally still had the XD Diff in there, we did have to convert the tailshaft to a uni-joint setup. And to make that work, we had to get 2 of the yokes turned down to fit under the U-bolts. But since then, the old boy was gifted a wrecked AU ute. That ute had a 323 LSD diff. So now that's here in the XD. So the tailshaft again is straight AU. The diff is mounted using the XD saddles. And the AU ute didn't have a sway bar, so the mount needed to be welded on from the old diff. It was also a good opportunity to modify the handbrake. With the original XD setup, it went down both sides with one side crossing under the gearbox. This never worked very well and clashed under the gearbox. Now the handbrake is pretty much a dash activated AU setup. It runs down one side, utilises an AU body bracket, with the big change being a custom section of rod to marry the AU and XD setups. The existing point that I was talking about before for the gearbox crossmember brace was actually the old pivot point for the XD handbrake setup. Now the fuel system has gone through 2 distinct stages. The first was just to get it work, the second to be suitable for a road-going vehicle. In the first iteration, we started with a lift pump out of the standard tank. That went into a surge tank that fed a 044 style fuel pump. There were 2 fuel filters, one before the lift pump and one after the fuel pump. Then I put a new fuel delivery line down the length of the car. The return line is the original carby fuel delivery line, with a small extension made up to reach the front of the engine bay. Then I made up 2 braided hoses to connect to the standard AU fuel rail. The return line went all the way back and fed into the surge tank. The second generation is pretty much the same principle. However, now an AU in-tank section has been additionally welded into the XD tank. So the lift pump pulls from the XD fuel line and pumps into a surge section that is around the AU in-tank module. Fuel is then delivered from there down the delivery line and through an AU stock fuel filter. The return comes back into the AU tank module. With the wiring harness, we cheated. We sent the AU engine, ECU loom along with the dash and a smart lock disable module to CAE Performance. What they sent back was a dash with the tacho converted from 6-cylinder to 8-cylinder and a loom with a new relay block and only 10 wires which need to be spliced into the XD harness. But after we connected those 10 wires, it fired to life.
Give it some gas.
Nothing like an exhaust blowing straight out of the headers. The ECU is mounted behind the passenger kick panel. I bought these interior plastics years before I even started thinking about doing the engine conversion, as the original ones were starting to fall apart. Lucky for me, they came out of an EFI Fairmont, so even the kick panel fits over the ECU nicely. Lastly, there's the air delivery. Here we have just gone with a short section of pipe onto a pod filter. By rights it is probably too short, but we have a hole in the bonnet feeding cold air in and it seems to run alright. But while we're here, let's catch up with what the old boy's been up to. Well, he actually stole my AU XR8. He came to Brisbane with a mate to pick up a new trailer, and at the same time he was looking for project cars to take back with him. And he was so sad that he didn't find one, he just stole my EF instead. My original plan with this car was to do a big custom job on it. But when I got that letter from Ford that it was a one of one, I couldn't bring myself to pulling it apart, and I wanted to bring it back to stock. So instead of me doing it, the old boy's been chipping away instead. So now gone are all the boy racer bits and pieces, and in its place, it's back to its original EF engine bay. He's gone through all the suspension and brakes, and topped it off with a new exhaust system. Inside is a million times better. It still has the Fairmont gear front seats and door trims, but I've got a set of XR units to put back in there. The back seats are showing up nicely in their 90s XR cooler. The gauges and the plastics that were broken are all fixed, and I have a standard shift knob that I forgot to bring with me, but it's going to go back on. The boot is looking nice and tidy too. still need to find a 6 stacker to go in here to bring it back to as it left the factory. And then not to stop there, he's also scored himself an XEU. 2 of them actually. He's not sure which body he's going to use yet, as they both come with issues. But to power them, he has a 393 stroke Cleveland with a manual gearbox and a 9-inch diff. I can't wait to see what direction he heads here. That's it, back to the XD. Oh, and the throttle cable. So I was lucky here. If you want to run a Holly on a 250 Crossflow, you need to use a V8 throttle cable, and it just worked perfectly. I'm not saying this is the way that you have to do the conversion, but I'm just letting you know what we did so that you can gauge if this is the sort of project that you want to take on yourself. I'd definitely start with a full donor car if you can, but that would probably mean aiming for an EB to ED Fairmont or Fairlane of the same era. But remember, the Fairlanes are a longer wheelbase, so you probably won't have a win with just simply using the Tailshaft. I appreciate that the thing to do these days is barrow swap these. And yes, if you head down that path, it's probably going to be heaps quicker than this. But I love me a V8. It makes all the right noises. It's one of the reasons I always say there is more to going fast than going fast. Okay, that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, catch you later.